Hello everyone, welcome to my channel NS Academy. In this tutorial, we are going to learn basic theory part of the C language. Introduction to C. We are moving with the introduction of C. First, what is C language? C is mother language of all programming languages. There are many programming languages nowadays. So the C is the mother language of all these programming languages. It is popular computer programming language and it is procedure-oriented programming language. What do you mean by procedure-oriented programming language? The program code will be written as a sequence of instructions, and these instructions will be executed in a sequential order. These instructions are written to solve specific problems. So C was a procedure-oriented programming language. While we are writing a code, we will write in the sequence of instructions. C will executed will be in the format of these instructions. So it is a procedure-oriented programming language. It is also called mid-level programming language because it has features of assembly level language. What do you mean by assembly level languages? Low level language and high level language. C has both the features of low level language and high level language. Therefore, C is also called as mid-level programming language, and it is very sensitive programming language. Study of C programming. C language was developed in 1972 by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories at American Telephone and Telegraph. It was developed in 1972 by Dennis Ritchie. He was the founder of C language, and it was developed to be Unix operating system. There are many operating systems. In these operating systems, C was developed using Unix operating system. Why C is famous? C is famous because it's very simple and easy. It is very fast. It is easy to use and highly portable, and it will be run with many operating system windows. OS means operating system, and it is efficient. OS means operating system. There are many operating systems like Unix, MS-DOS, Windows, and other operating systems also. C was developed using Unix operating system only. How is C named? C was named using two types of languages, B language and BCPL language, basic combined programming language. Using these two languages, C was named. Features of C programming. So moving with the features of C programming. Rich library. It has very rich library, machine independent or portable, and it is mid-level programming language. It is structured programming language. It is recursion. It is fast, memory management, pointers, easy to extend. These all are the features of the C programming. We will learn these all features line by line clearly. Rich library. What do you mean by rich library? In rich library, we will get many built-in functions to write the code, and we can develop it very fast. It is a robust language whose rich set of built-in functions and operators can be used to write any complex program. And C provides a lot of inbuilt functions that make the development very fast. So C has many built-in functions. Therefore, it's as a feature called rich library. Mission independent or portable. C is highly portable because the means that C programs written for one computer can be run on another with little or no modification. If I write a program code, and the same program code we can write in the other computers also with little or without zero modification. The compiler and preprocessor makes it possible to run on different computers or different devices. Therefore, C is called mission independent or portable. Mid-level programming language. We already learned before. Mid-level programming language because it has high-level programming language features and low-level programming language features. Means assembly level languages. It has both the features of high level and low level. Therefore, C is also called as mid-level programming language. Structured programming language. This also we already learned. C language is always well suited for structured programming. Thus, requires a user of a think of a problem in terms of a function modules or programming blocks. A proper collection of these modules would make a complete program, and this modular structure makes program debugging, testing, and maintenance easier. C as structured programming language. It is well suited for the structured programming. What do you mean by recursion? In C, we can call the function within the function. There are many built-in functions in the C. So if we call any other function using already presented function, within the function we are calling another function, it provides the code reusability for every function. It is known as recursion, and C is very fast. It is very fast and efficient due to variety of data types, functions, and powerful operators. It is many times faster than BASIC. For example, a program to increment a variable from 0 to 15,000 takes about 1 second in C, while it takes more than 50 seconds in an interpreter BASIC. So finally, C is very, very fast. Memory management. C has good memory management by using a calling function. By calling free function, C will provide most memory, and it will allocate memory easily by calling the free function. So we want memory, then we can call the free function. By calling free function, we can get the memory. So C is memory management. And pointer. C has very different number of pointers because we can directly interact with the memory by using the pointers. Simply saying, we are using memory management. If we want a memory, we will call the function, free function, and the memory allocated will be using through pointers. And we can directly interact with the memory by using the pointers. What memory we have been used, we can directly interact with the using of pointers. And C is very easy to extend. It is an extensible language. It is able to extend itself. These all are the features of C language. We will learn about pointers in future tutorials deeply. Structure of C program. We are moving with structure. There are 4 structures: documentation, preprocessor, definition, global declaration. In the both of these 4 sections, the first 2 sections, documentation section and preprocessor section, are very, very important in C language. To write a program without documentation section and preprocessor section, we are very useful to writing any code in the C language. Mostly preprocessor section will be used for every programming code. First, let us discuss about documentation section. What do you mean by documentation section? Documentation section means a comment is an explanation or description of the source code of a program. It helps a developer to explain logic of code and improves program readability. While executing a program, compiler will ignore this comment. Yes, what it means we are writing the code. After writing the code, we will use comments like single line comment and multi-line comment. For using single line comment, we want to give double backslashes, 2 backslashes. For multi-line comment, we want to give backslash, star, and we want to write multi-lines. And then at last of the multi-line, after writing the statement, we want to give star, again backslash. Why we execute these statements, single line comment and multi-line comment, in a compiler, it will not be executed in the C program. So documentation section will be useful to a developer to explain logic of code and improves program readability. Preprocessor section. Without using preprocessor section, we can't get programming result. Means we can't get the output. Means it will provide instruction to the compiler to link functions from the library. It is also known as link section. It is also known as header file section. Syntax: hashtag include less than file name dot h greater than. Here the file name is the header file. Here file name is the header file. We will mostly use hashtag include stdio.h as an header file section. Mostly for most of the programs, we will use this as a header file section. And here stdio.h is an header file. Why we are using this header file section or preprocessor section? Because we are to print or scan the statements of the code. For scanning or printing, we will use printf scan functions. For using these functions, we want to get an header file. So while executing a program to print or scan a function, the header file will execute it. Similarly, we will use math.h for mathematical functions like sine, cos. Again, we will use string.h for defining string handling functions. Definition section. Definition section is nothing but we will give a defined value to the code. Here I have given define hashtag define max 100, means the maximum value will be taken through the output is maximum 100. Define hashtag define pi 3.14. So pi value will be taken as 3.14. Hashtag define a5. It means we are giving a value, int a value has been 5. We are declaring int defining a as 5. Global declaration section. Global declaration section is not much important. Global declaration section is nothing but the variables that are used in more than one function throughout the program called global variables. C has many built-in functions. We will use many functions in C language. So if there are variables or more than one function, they are all called as a global variables. They should be declared outside of all the functions. Means while we are giving this global declaration section, we want to write this program in between header file section and main function. We want to give global declaration section at header file section and main function. Between these two, we will declare global declaration section and then main function. What do you mean by main function? Main function has two parts, declaration part and execution part. Declaration part will be declare the variables and execution part will be execute the function by printf statement. Execute the function by using printf statement. The execution of a program begins with opening brace and ends with closing brace. In a programming code, the execution part will be start at opening brace and ends with the closing brace of the main function, and it is called as logic end of the program. And a subprogram section. Subprogram section means we will give another subprogram to the given program. So the subprogram are basically functions written by the user defined functions. They will be written before or after the main function and are called within the main function. This will be an optional program to user or a programmer. Yes, this is the default in the C program. We will write this is the header file hashtag include less than stdio.h greater than is an header file section, and then we will give main function int main, and then we will giving opening brace, return 0 and closing brace. This is the program code execution, means it is the structure to write a program code. We are going with structure of C program. Now the all different 4 types of sections all will be given at here. Of C program, hashtag program to illustrate structure of C program. This is the documentation section. Hashtag include less than stdio.h. This is the link section. And then we are giving definition section, hashtag define a5. And then int display int a. This is the global declaration section. And then main function. We are writing the code as int main and curly brackets. This is the main function. After opening brace, this is the declaration part and then execution part. And then subprogram or user defined function, and then return a predefined function. This is the structure of the C program. This is just an example. This is not code that to be executed. This is just a sample structure for your understanding purpose. Names of symbols and functions used in C language. What will be the symbols and functions will be used in C language?